Jacob Zuma, South Africa's president-elect and arguably one of its most controversial figures. Even before his rise to the land's most powerful office, his name had been tarnished by allegations of fraud, corruption and rape. But it's the eNCA scandal and claims of promiscuity that appear to have hogged the headlines.
The problem in this country is Thabo Mbeki and his people.
Julius Malema, Zuma's one-time ally turned fiercest critic, saying Zuma would go down in South Africa's history books as a president who put the interests of his family ahead of the people of South Africa.
Any African who stays in a beautiful house like that and his neighbors stay in shacks must be ashamed.
But let's go back a little further. 2005 was probably one of the toughest years in Zuma's life. In June, his one-time financial advisor is found guilty and sentenced to 15 years in prison on corruption charges.
But I walk in the light of my Lord. I'm innocent.
In his judgment, Judge Hilary Squires painted a picture of a mutually beneficial symbiosis between Zuma and Sheikh, saying Sheikh would only have made the payments if he was getting something in return. Judge Squires said it was clear that the only assistance Zuma could provide was using his political office. After that, President Thabo Mbeki decided to fire his deputy. That same year, Zuma's reputation was dealt a crushing blow. He was charged with raping a young female family friend in his home. He claimed the sex was consensual and was acquitted. But Zuma knew the woman was HIV positive and came under massive criticism from health activists when he said he showered afterwards to, quote, minimize the risk of contracting the disease. And there was more trouble down the line. In 2006, a few months after his rape acquittal, Zuma was brought to trial and charged with corruption for allegedly accepting bribes as part of the arms deal saga. Publicly, at least, Zuma said he wanted to go to court to clear his name. But after numerous extensions by prosecutors to build the state's case, the charges were dropped.
It is declared that the decision taken by the National Prosecuting Authority during or about 28 December 2007 to prosecute the applicant, a copy of which is annexed to the applicant's founding affidavit as Annexure A thereto, is invalid and is set aside.
I believe that this judgment is a lesson to all of us. It's a lesson particularly to the legal fraternity.
It seemed Jacob Zuma was the politician with 9 lives.
It is a victory.
At the ANC's national conference in Polokwane in 2007, he toppled Mbeki as party leader.
Votes received by Comrade Jacob Zuma, 2,329.
But by the end of the year, fresh corruption charges were brought against him, along with racketeering and money laundering. Then in 2009, prosecutors dropped all charges against the ANC's presidential candidate 8 years into the case and 2 weeks before elections. In May that year, Zuma was inaugurated as president. 2010. A new year and yet another scandal. Zuma admitted to fathering his 20th child, this time out of wedlock, with Sonono Khoza, daughter of soccer boss and longtime ANC ally Ivan Khoza. Fast forward to 2014. This is the Public Protector's long-awaited report. It found that Zuma unduly benefited from upgrades to his private Nkandla residence. Thuli Madonsela's office conservatively estimated the value of the upgrades at 246 million rand. Her report questioned the scale of the renovations and asked him to pay back at least part of the money. At one campaign rally in the run-up to elections, he responded to the report for the first time, saying he wouldn't pay back the money because he didn't ask for the upgrades. And now the latest allegations against the president, that he helped clinch a $2 million investment for his nephew's controversial mining company, Aurora Empowerment Systems. The DA has called on Public Protector Thuli Madonsela to investigate. Michelle Craig, Cape Town.
Know more. eNCA.com